Today's talk is about how to show up like no one else. When you get a referral from another lawyer, what do? Do you call them to thank them, send them a dinner certificate or something like that? It's all good, and that's more than anyone else is doing. But how do you show up like no one else? The power of a shock and awe package, something that you'd send to your referral partners, lawyers who refer you work, that's more than just a token sign of your gratitude. And let me show you what I've got. This is my shock and awe package here. This goes out to referring attorneys who send new work to us. And it's not your usual gift basket of fruit and vegetables or flowers or anything like that. It's basically all my best materials, everything. This would include a signed copy of my book. It would include all of the different, the guide that I hand out to malpractice victims with all their questions that they have. It also includes my internet marketing form guide, so all the tips that I have for getting a law firm's website on the first page of Google. It has a Word of my book, so if they want to flip it into a computer and read it online or on their smartphone, they can do that. It's also got all the best marketing stuff that I use for the different speeches that I have, so they can see templates of how I market and promote my speaking events. I have the best speeches from my podcast, which is called The Ultimate Practice Builder for New York Injury Lawyers. So I give away the best speeches. I give away all of the best video clips from some of the seminars that I've spoken with, so they can look at some of the speaking gigs that I've given on marketing, management, and trial practice and see for themselves. I've got all the forms that I use for different injury clients. So these forms include, as you'll see, my rules of communication. This is what every client signs when they come to my firm, basically saying, I don't take unscheduled phone calls. I don't respond to email. If you want to speak with me, you have to make an appointment with our staff and specify the purpose of the call. So in the agreement, I have them review it, sign it, live by it. I also have documents that are part of this, the 8 basic rights of any injury victim, which include the right to fire their attorney. I believe in complete transparency. So we want to fully educate our clients about their rights, including the right to get a complete copy of the file, to fire the attorney, and that they are not responsible for any of the expenses of the litigation. Give them all of their rights in writing. We also have a document called Our Rules for Protecting Your Privacy and Confidentiality. So we lay it all out there. It's basically a Q&A format describing what we do, how everything that goes on between the 4 walls of this office stays within the walls of this office for them, so they have some assurance there. I also give them copies of some of my best audio speeches. So the interviews that I've done, I sort of put them in a nice package. It costs maybe a couple $100 to put the package together, put them together. This is Get With The Program is all the different policies and procedures, basically my firm's office manual, what the rules that we live by for everything, whether that be commencing a lawsuit, depositions, getting medical records, answering the phone. Every basic procedure of the office is in here. All of the other things, like, for example, the Christmas card is in here. The invitation for a book launch party is in here. The opening of my firm, parties that we have in the winter. Sometimes we'll have parties about internet marketing or the use of focus groups to prepare for trial. Give templates of all the different forms and materials that we use. Educational audio tapes about how to protect your rights to a referral fee. Because one of the number one things that happens is lawyers who refer cases get screwed out of the legal fee. I want to educate you how to protect yourself in writing to make sure that that never happens. Because once you refer a case, you trust the other attorney. You shouldn't do that. You should make sure everything's in writing, and I educate referring attorneys how to do that. I also give the last few editions of my monthly print newsletter, which is called Lawyer Alert. It's educational, informative. It basically spells out my best tips for law practice and management and trial practice. Also, I have a pen here that's kind of nifty because the pen itself opens up and has a flash drive of all the best forms that we use in our office. That could be a release authorization, it could be a summons complaint, it could be a pleading, verdict sheet, you name it. This has all of the best forms that we have. So I package it up in a box like this with the logo of my firm right here, and we send it out, gift wrap it, send it out to the referring attorneys as a special way of saying thanks. Now, how many people do you know who refer business ever get anything like this? All the package of materials that we have. But if you take a little bit of time, package all your best materials together, you will show up like no one else.